Hi there, welcome to Walk with Bandana Man. Today we're walking around the Lluc monastery area, and ultimately we're going to visit a natural sculpture called Camel. If you start your walk from Lluc, you need to give yourself about an hour's round trip. If you start from Son Amer car park, add 30 minutes, and if you start from the Colbertea, you need to add another 50. The route takes us through hemlock forests, kast limestone landscapes, and ultimately to the top of a little mirador where you can look over one of the most remote areas of the Tramuntana. So, let's get out there. Well, a minute down from the Colbertea in your car on the Peninsula Road, you'll come across Son Amer car park.
Son Amer car park has parking for about 80 vehicles on a couple of levels, and it's free. You exit the parking at the top right. There is parking opposite the fuel station, and down this road there are about 25 places on one side.
If you've come from Colbertea or Son Amer car park, you'll eventually arrive at this main road. If you turn left, you can go down to Lluc. If you turn right, this is the way that we want to go, and then left over onto the service road. This is the place where all the start points will converge onto, and this is where we need to go right. After exiting top left out the football pitch there, we come to this bridge, and that's going to be quite significant because at the end of the walk we'll come back across this bridge to go back to Lluc. At the moment we're going to go straight up this track here. We're on this track now for about another 20 minutes until we have to cross the MA10, which is the Lluc to Peninsula road. Looking back down from where we've just come from, on the path, you can see the north side of Caragola, and then the little one sticking out over there is Escrau, and the ridge leading all the way up to Camell. Beautiful. So this is the second of the two hairpins where the path has gradually been rising for the last 5 or 6 minutes towards the road that we're going to meet up there. So we've finally hit the road. What we need to do now is go through the gate or over the stile and just cross the road slightly diagonally to the right. After leaving the road, you'll pick up this well-defined track the other side. So after leaving the main road, a couple of minutes along that track, you'll come to a minor road. This is the road to Menut. There is a track straight across, which you could probably take, which would take us to the next objective. But I'm going to turn right because there's a couple of things up here I'd like to see. About a minute of coming up this road, you'll come across this structure.
Lime kilns were built using a circular dry stone construction. Feeding the kiln with wood from the surrounding forests, the lime burners would convert the limestone, or calc, into a quicklime. The quicklime was used for whitewashing walls, for disinfecting plants, and as a type of mortar used for construction. With temperatures of around 800 degrees Celsius, the fires were maintained for around 12 days before the quicklime was extracted.
And just across the road, through an avenue of pine trees, is the Crau de Menut.
Located at the end of an avenue of pine trees, virtually opposite a lime kiln, is the Crau de Menut. It is a Gothic cross from about the 15th century, depicting the crucifixion of Jesus on one side and the Virgin with Child on the other.
So after you've had a little look at the cross over there, we need to go between these two signs and cut across through this little forest here to the main road again, and across the main road to the Pixarels campsite. So this little footpath through here, although not well defined, it is marked on the map, so there should be something, even if it's just dots on the rock. Ahead of us there's a wall that we have to go through. Here the path just goes through the middle of these rocks that are scattered both sides of us. We're approaching this carbon burner's ring here, and these rocks in front of us. The footpath takes a 90-degree left, and it's much more well defined down here. And after about 20 meters it takes a sharp right, and it's probably about now you can start hearing the cars on the main road. Keep to the upper section here, don't go down too low, and then we'll be in the right area to access the road. After 4 or 5 minutes of coming through this little forest here from the lime kiln and the cross, you'll reach this water tank, which is right next to the road which we've got across. So we cross the road here, and just past the road marker number 17 is the entrance to the Pixarels campsite. Right in front of us there is Lluc, and right in the background there is the Puig Major. And after a couple of minutes of coming down this little concrete road, you'll start to descend into the Pixarels camping site and recreation area.
Pixarels is a camping and recreation area run by IBANAT, the Balearic Institution for Nature Preservation. The site is used regularly by locals from surrounding villages on weekends in the spring, summer and autumn. It has a shower block with toilets, an undercover area, picnic tables, fire pits and flat camping areas, and it's only €5 a night.
To leave the campsite area, have a look for these signs here, and this chain that goes across the track, and that's the way we want. Chains just to keep out vehicles. On weekends you'll probably find people bouldering in this area. So after leaving the little rocky section with the boulders back there, the space opens up and the track we want gradually rises to a mirador up the top. This olive grove here has been heavily pollarded or pruned, in order to try and generate new growth. They look like they've been devastated by something, but they all look rather old. Good luck to them. Climbing out of the Olive Grove Valley, we'll come across these great crags of cast limestone.
Limestone, or its main component, calcium carbonate, is a permeable rock which allows water to enter through porous joints and cracks which can slowly dissolve the rock, either from the top creating channels or from a weak point inside the rock creating holes. One of the best examples of a karst landscape is on the MA10 mountain road as it rises out of the Pollenza Valley.
So here we are. This is a beautiful spot to take on some fluid and to have a snack or two. And from this little mirador we can look out over one of these beautifully remote areas of the Tramuntana. How wonderful is that? A few minutes down from the mirador we will come to this signpost. We need to take a right. After a few minutes down the track from the track junction with the sign, you'll come to this area here, and this is where we can pick up the footpath to Camel. And indeed, here's the signpost that tells you just that. This is the footpath leading to Camell, and obviously with thousands and thousands of foot traffic over these rocks over the years have worn very smooth. If they're damp they can be a bit slippy, so just be careful. We've finally arrived down at the Camel, and well, just leaves you to have a look and see what you think.
Camel as a natural sculpture is quite striking, and more so when you consider that the artist was Mother Nature and a medium being rainwater. It is truly a wonderful example of karst limestone, and probably there is no denying it does resemble a camel, and it will be here for generations to come.
A set of steps leading down from the Camel will bring you to here, which is a viewpoint carved out of the limestone, and this has beautiful views across the Lluc Valley. Look at this. There's the north side of Caragola and a long ridge all the way up to Galilu. Wonderful. After leaving the Camel, we have to follow this rather steep footpath all the way back down to the bridge, probably about 4 minutes. So finally, after completing our circuit, we're back at the bridge here. All that's left now is to cross the bridge, turn right through the football field and go back to Lluc.
This route, albeit short, is a very pleasant walk with a few areas of interest captured in a continuously changing landscape. Why not take the opportunity to look around the monastery while you're here and grab a drink and a bite to eat? Hope you will enjoy being in this area. If you do, then probably you would like to join me on another walk. in the future.